I want you to visualize the poster of your favorite independent film. Close your eyes if you have to. What's the first thing that you see? Is it the title, the lead actor's face, or is it that wreath of leaves at the top, the laurels, the official selection, best director, audience choice? In this industry, we are trained to worship that symbol. We treat the laurel like a currency. We believe that if we accumulate enough of them, we can exchange them for a sustainable career. We believe that validation equals momentum. But I have a hard question for you. If you take a look at the filmmakers who won those same awards 5 years ago, and you go look at their IMDb pages, are they directing more features? Are they fully funded, or are they scraping together another short film? Are they back on Kickstarter, not as a strategy, but without an audience, rebuilding from zero? For 99% of filmmakers, the answer is the latter. Not because crowdfunding has failed them, but because nothing in their work compounded. The laurel is a vanity metric. It looks good on Instagram, it feels good to talk about at a bar, but you can't deposit a laurel at a bank. And more importantly, you can't use a laurel to reach an audience for your next project. Film festival wins feel like momentum, but momentum only counts if it carries forward. And in the current system, it pretty much evaporates. So, why do we fall for this? When you think about it, why do smart, capable, business minded people spend tens of thousands of dollars chasing a PDF certificate? It's because of the prestige trap. Independent film has a deep insecurity at its core. Because there's no barrier of entry, anyone can buy a camera, we're desperate for someone to tell us that we're real. We crave gatekeepers. We want a programmer or a judge or a critic to stamp our forehead and say, approved. So we mistake selection for success. We mistake applause for audience. But here's the brutal reality of the festival business model. And make no mistake, it is a business. A festival customer is not you. The festival's customer is the ticket buyer and the local sponsor. You are the content supplier, but you're a unique kind of supplier because usually suppliers get paid. In this model, you pay them. You pay the submission fee to provide the product that allows them to sell the tickets. In most industries, this would raise serious ethical questions. Imagine a musician playing a venue to play a concert, and the venue keeps 100% of the ticket sales. It's called pay to play. And in film, we just call it the circuit. The festival is optimized to sell an experience to the town it's located in. It's not optimized to build leverage for the person who made the movie. Once the lights go up and the party ends, the transaction is complete. The festival got their content, the town got their culture, you get a piece of paper. And a piece of paper does not compound. So let's define the difference between what you think you're getting and what you're actually getting at the film festival. You think you're getting retention, but you're actually getting recognition. And recognition is a moment. It is someone seeing your work and saying, hey, that was nice, I enjoyed it. But recognition is passive. It requires no action from the viewer. It generates no data. It gives them nothing more than just that moment. But retention is a relationship. Retention is capturing the ability to speak to that person again. Retention is a database. A filmmaker who doesn't retain an audience is not really building a career. They're producing isolated events. So let's look at the mechanics of a successful film festival screening. Imagine you pack the theater. 200 people sold out. The movie plays, the jokes land, the ending hits, thunderous applause. You do the Q&A and people ask smart questions. You feel like a rock star. And then everyone just walks out of the lobby. Maybe 3 people ask for a picture. Maybe 1 person asks for a business card. But the other 196 people, they go to dinner. They go home. They move on. They forget. You had 200 customers in a room, and you let 98% of them walk out of the door without capturing a single data point. You don't have their emails. You can't retarget them with ads. You can't tell them when your next movie is out. The festival owns that data. They sold the tickets. They have the email list. If you want to talk to those people again, you have to beg the festival to send an email for you. And for the most part, they won't. That gatekeeping is why careers stall. You are generating attention, but you're not capturing it. It's like pouring water into a bucket with no bottom. It feels like you're working because you're lifting a heavy bucket, but the water level never rises. So I can hear the objections now. You say, I don't go for the audience. I go for the networking. I go to meet the industry. So let me dismantle this networking fallacy. There are two types of networking, vertical and horizontal. Vertical networking is meeting people who can change your career trajectory. That's distributors, financiers, agents, established producers. These people exist at festivals, but usually only at the big five: Sundance, TIFF, Cannes, South by Southwest, Berlin. And even then, they're behind the velvet rope, surrounded by gatekeepers. If you're at a regional festival or even a large specialized, you're pretty much engaging in horizontal networking. You're meeting other filmmakers. You're meeting your peers. And you're trading business cards with people who have the exact same problem you have. They have no money, they have no distribution, and really no leverage. Two broke filmmakers exchanging business cards does not create a funded movie. It creates a support group. Now, commiseration is comfortable. It feels good to complain about the industry with people who get it. But it's not business development. True networking is an exchange of value. I have an audience, you have capital. Or I have a distribution pipeline and you have a product. If you go to a festival without an audience, without leverage, you really have nothing to trade. You're just another person asking for a favor and paying to play. This industry runs on leverage, not favors. Sure, some filmmakers get discovered, but that doesn't make getting discovered as a business plan. Now, the final defense of the festival circuit is usually, I need the laurels to get a distribution deal. That is the most dangerous myth of all. 10 years ago, it may have been true. Distributors used festivals as like a filter, and if you had the laurel, they paid attention. Today, the market is flooded. Supply vastly exceeds the demand. Here's what actually happens when you win Best Feature at a mid-tier festival. You don't get a call from A24. You don't get a call from Netflix. You get an email from a predatory aggregator. They'll congratulate you on your amazing vision. They'll tell you you're the next big thing. They'll promise to get you onto iTunes and Amazon and other global platforms. And then, in the fine print, or maybe boldly in the second email that you get, they'll ask for a recoupable expense or marketing fee. $3,000, $5,000, $10,000. It's important to know they're not buying your movie. They're selling you a service. They're using your validation, your laurel, as a hook to sell you a high-priced upload fee. And because you're usually high on the dopamine of a festival win, you're going to sign that deal. You pay them, they upload the file. And then the movie sits there. Zero marketing, zero push. It collects digital dust. The laurel didn't get you a partner. It marked you as a target. So, is the answer to boycott festivals? No, absolutely not. Isolation is death. You need to be out there. You need to get your films noticed. But you need to change your intent when you go to these things. Stop going to festivals to be discovered. Start going to festivals to extract value. Festivals are not red carpets. They are temporary concertations of attention. Now, attention, if it isn't retained, disappears. So this is what I call the Trojan horse strategy. A filmmaker who leaves a festival without assets has basically wasted the opportunity. Every screening contains extractable value: proof, permission, and people. Proof that the work resonates, permission to speak to the audience again, and people who have already demonstrated interest in your work. If none of that is retained, the event was consumption and not leverage. Applause feel like momentum, but applause only lasts a few seconds. assets last for years. So, film festivals are not broken, they're misunderstood. When treated as moments, they reset your career. But when treated as extraction points, they can compound it. Now, the difference isn't the festival, it's what you walk away with. The reason you haven't been doing this is not because you're lazy. It's because the system is designed to distract you. The red carpets, the step and repeats, the mixers. It's all theater designed to make you feel like a filmmaker. But feeling like a filmmaker and running a production company are two different things. The festival system is optimized for experience. It sells the feeling of importance, but you can't build a career on feelings. When the festival run is over, the filmmaker's left with just a memory. The reset effect kicks in. The high wears off and your bank account is empty. And then you realize you have to start the boulder at the bottom of the hill again like some Sisyphean curse. This isn't about failing to capitalize. It's about understanding that the festival is not there to help you capitalize. It's designed to help the festival capitalize. If you want to win, you have to be selfish. You have to extract the value yourself. So let's define what a win is. A win is not a trophy. A win is not a good review. A win is data. Okay? A win is leverage. A win is walking out of a screening with more direct access to your audience than you walked in with. If you spend $5,000 on a festival run and come back with a plastic trophy and 0 emails, you've lost money. But if you spend that same $5,000, and come back with 500 superfans on an email list, you've built a foundation. Festival success feels like momentum, but momentum only matters if it carries forward. If nothing is retained, nothing compounds. And without compounding, even success becomes temporary. Once you see this, chasing the laurel no longer makes any sense. As a filmmaker, you're mistaking your most valuable asset as the product of your work, but is the audience that you build that propels your career. So start leveraging those assets.